Okay, so should we move on to my topic or the next topic? Uh, okay, I haven't been really on the news this week. It's been a little bit of a stressful week, and so I was everything media, every free time stuff I've been either reading or on social media. And by social media, I mean Twitter. And I found it interesting because what happened? Oh yeah. So I don't know if you guys know this channel, but there is a really big YouTube channel. There are actually two channels, but they're by the same people. Is Corridor Digital, and then they have another channel called Corridor Crew, in which they show the behind the scenes stuff. So Corridor Digital, they also have their own website. They're like a independent special effects. They make short movies. They make special effects. Like they basically just like they're a small team of special effects artists, and they just make short movies on YouTube, and that's how they made their name. Like they've been doing it for a long time, and they have millions of subscribers now. And now, in recent years, they have another channel which is also millions of subscribers called Corridor Crew. It's where they show the behind the scenes of the movies and content they put out, and it's where they react to special VFX. So, and I like them. So, Corridor Crew, if you see this, give us a shout out. Anyway, I am going to shit on you a little bit. But so that's how I got to know them is they react to VFX in movies, and then they just react to it, whatever. But recently they came out with like a short film, I guess, and they've always been on top of this AI stuff. So like when AI started getting big, I would get news about it from them about especially when with computer generated images and what do you call that thing where you can put other people's face? Deep faking, deep fakes and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
And they and recently they used this AI to make a short film about uh about rock paper scissors, which is besides the point. But they made an anime, so they called it an anime. Okay, they called it an anime. But when you say anime, usually you're thinking of like people drawing the anime, or more recently, they will use to make anime or animated movies. You'd use computer illustrations. Okay, but this is not what Corridor did. So Corridor, in the for the sake, according to them, of democratizing animation or whatever. Okay, um, they just filmed basically everything like they usually do on the green screen. Okay, but they put whatever they film, and they just film the characters basically. The background is all not real, the sets and stuff. They used AI to make whatever they film and turn it into an anime. Okay, excuse me. And so the sets are anime, the backgrounds, the castle that they were in, the powers that they use or whatever in the short film is all AI generated. Okay, and excuse me, and being having millions of subscribers, and mainly their fan base are artists probably. They put this video out, and they got a lot of backlash. They got a lot of backlash because they were like, look, it's anime. We made this new anime movie, short film, but it's AI. Now, people were like, this is not real art. This is not real anime. And it looks kind of shitty, to be honest. Like it looks dead. Like, and you know how AI can't really make hands. I don't know if you know that meme, but like AI is really bad at making hands. And even if you see AI generated art, there's always a few things that are off. Like people would look weird, so the AI will have a third arm. The buildings won't make like there's things like that. But anyway, like um, people were saying this is unethical. This is unethical because not even though they filmed the whole thing and then just basically put a filter on it, an AI filter or anime filter. The style of the anime, color scheme, like the art of it, the way AI works is it uses a pool of real art, like of real artists, real anime, and they basically just say, okay, make this. It's basically if I shot a video and then put it in the computer, it was like, okay, make this look like what anime is the one with the big giant people, or make this look like Studio Ghibli or something, right? But that art style is someone else's work, but you are using it and you're calling it your anime and you're making money off of it. Okay. So even though it's technically 100% original, the idea, the style is not original, right? The style is not original. Okay. So you can't make something look like uh, a Disney animation, right? You know how like almost all Disney animation movies look similar. They have the Disney style to it. So if it was like if I made my own movie and put a Disney animation filter on it, right? Am I making art even though that style is not something I came up with? That style is someone else's style. Just put a filter, right? So, and then I'll make money off it because technically none of the frames are copied, right? So I just want to ask you, man, like, and then also now you know, okay, well, before I ask you, let's go to this link. Okay, hold on. So, and nowadays you can do stuff like this. I've never really done this sort of stuff before, but like you can say, uh, girl on mountain in Studio G. I spelled this right. Make sure I spelled Studio Ghibli right. Okay. Let's create this. Let's see what comes up. It's gonna take a minute or two. Or maybe not. That doesn't really look like Studio Ghibli. Yeah, but you see what I mean? Like here, right? Like they just made this. This is 100% original. It is made by AI. But there's a certain style to it. Like its style is sort of like Studio Ghibli style. Okay, which is a style that people came up with and is very popular. Uh, and I would argue that style is the art because nobody else will have the same style as you. If I to ask you to draw something, nobody else will draw like you will. But now you can draw like someone else. Like I can put it girl on mountain in Batman comic style. Okay. Or I should have put DC comic. You see? It looks like a comic book. So but I told you about the hands. They can't make hands. The hands look like ass. Right? But this is insane though. Like, and you can see like this one has a third ear, right? Batman has two ears, but it's like, but like it's like Chat GPT, where it's a good frame of reference. Like if I could copy this image, remove one of the ears, and redraw the hands, and I'm fine. You know what I mean? So, is this art though? Is this art? That's my question. I'll give you what I think later.
I mean, I mean, when you say that though, it comes down to that a tough time when people said what do they call it? Is NFTs are in terms of that. I couldn't at first like no, some digital pixel but and then I came to the conclusion some of it is. I might not think the monkey portions are art, but some of the digital art is in terms of in terms of art and time. Some people who work on who just use an iPad and then they're just sketching on that portion and then they make it digital. That portion is art. Do I believe this portion is art? It's the same thing on that piece of paper. If you're using ChatGPT to write your paper, if you're sourcing your information, if it's that simple, uh, then maybe not. I wouldn't generalize that whole thing as saying not art and discounted. Some people can create a masterpiece, if I'm honest, using combining different styles and everything, and coming up with an Ethiopian style, right down to Ethiopian style on that. But so if you combine different things and maybe not if it's you combine different aspects and it comes out something even the original person if you if the original no that's not it. This is not
Yeah, but no. The thing is, you can get more specific in the prompts, and like you just said, there are people who they will take different art styles, make the background this style, make they're very specific with it. Like you can basically customize it, sort of like creating a character in a video game, but you can do that with art now.
exactly. And that's what I'm saying though. And I'm looking at some of the coordinated stuff. Yeah, it might not look the same, but like they're taking it to a new level in terms of uh, that form of art in terms of anime. They're not drawing it per se every single thing in terms of the generation generating that images and everything like what they did is I would consider it as a form of art. When you are thinking logically, some of that basic stuff maybe not, but when they take second or third layers of complexity on adding to it, if you're adding all of those to it, I think it becomes art. That's just the way that's how I would respond to it.
I think that what we call art, or this is I don't know what the fuck. Anyway, I think that what we're trying, like art, has to be redefined. I think that these are illustrations, like you know what I mean. Like there's the skill for portion of it. There's the skill portion of it, and then there's the innovation, the new idea that's being presented into the world, right? So can I draw, like can someone learn to draw in the exact same style um as Van Gogh, for example, right? Let's see, Van Gogh style astronaut. Okay. And an AI can do that. Okay. But a person can also do that. Um, draw like someone else. So I think that's a skill. Okay. But I think the art has to come the art has to come with presenting something new, a new idea into the world. And AI doesn't necessarily do that. AI art. Okay, because there's nothing new, even though it's a combination of ideas, there's nothing new. But then where's the line? Like you said, even when people present something new, if a person, an artist, creates something new into the world, isn't a person also just a product of their environment? Isn't all the art that you produce just influenced by other artists before you? But in that sense, then AI could be real art, right? So but the thing is, like, we're talking about semantics and definition. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I keep looking there because I'm on the share screen thing now. But what doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, it's what this means to the industry. Okay, so if you were a company and you have a brand and you sell a product, you have to redesign your logos, what your packaging, things like that, right? You used to have a team of artists, maybe, right, to come up with concepts, ideas, and stuff. But now you don't really need a team of artists. You can have a team of technicians, AI technicians, to generate random art for you, right? So it's like it's a weird thing to think about in terms of industry. Like, do you keep hiring artists and paying artists because that's how they make a living? Or do you, like, instead of hiring 20 artists, you just hire one or two technicians to come up with a bunch of ideas? Then you just get one artist to finalize that idea. So, no, it's tricky, man. It's gonna change the way we look at art in the future and how it interacts. How we interact with art.
But it also comes down to if you've seen the deep fakes, it's hard to know which one is real, which one is fake. In
I
terms
know.
of
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
it's hard to know which art is real, which art is fake.
Hmm.
And not or fake, but like AI generated in terms of that.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's why we have to
yeah,
redefine art, man. We can't just call everything art anymore. You just have to say it's a picture or an illustration.
there was some there's some times where I didn't think those art too, when it was just splashes of color, and then they said modern art. Just as
I mean, like
dude,
Jackson Pollock.
some
Yeah.
people some people put blocks of ice melting, and it was a famous artist literally put blocks of ice and then literally cube and called it art in terms of that. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
dead serious.
Yeah, no, there was a person, there was famous like 100 years ago or 50, 60 years ago. They famously took a urinal, this French dude, I think, took a urinal, put it in an art display, and said this is art to see how many people would think it's art, but it's just a urinal. And like, so is that art though? So like, because people thought it was art, they interacted with it like it was art, but it was just a fucking urinal. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Anyway.
Exactly. At the end of the day, and so would you? What is the definition of art?
That's the thing. It's so subjective, man. It's just how you interact with things. But if you want to, so that's why, like, you have to redefine it and say, like, maybe if you want to be an artist, you have to present something new. Or I don't know how you even would evaluate that. Either way, I think the industry is going to change. Like, you know how there used to be, you know how, like, they used to paint portraits, and, like, they used to paint portraits of people or paint landscapes, and, like, that would be considered art. But then, like, they created a photograph, and now all portraits are taken by cameras, and, like, landscapes are taken by cameras. I mean, you can still do, like, still life photos and, I mean, art and stuff, but it's not, like, significant. So I think it's going to change in that way. Like, it's like a new technology that people are just going to create new types of art with.
Yeah, but this is the art definition. It says an expression or application of human creative. That's a good one. Of human
No,
creativity,
creative, shit.
skills, and imagination, typically in a visual form, such as painting or sculpture or producing works to be appreciated primarily for the beauty or emotional power. And then the second, the various branch of creative activities such as painting, music, literature, and
Yeah,
dance.
that's how we usually define it. But that first definition is key because what did it say? Human imagination.
This is the application, or says the expression of application of human creative skill
Okay.
and
So
in
if you
terms of
define it as application of human creative skill, um, then AI would not be considered because there's nothing human about it.
no, but it says the expression though.
Yeah,
So this is
expression. So art is like how you express yourself, right? It's how you express emotion. It's how you express feeling, But art doesn't. an AI doesn't have emotion, so it can't create that. But it can though. That's the thing. Like it can create a painting.
But it says or application. It is an application of human creative skill because, like you said, it is human based. That's why you are saying in this person's style
Yeah.
because it isn't. It is
Yeah, but
because it.
human based. Yeah, yeah, you're right. It is originally from a human. Like, yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
But then
Because
you're screwing that person, but you're screwing the artist though in that case, because then he wouldn't get royalties.
I mean, I wouldn't think you are because that everybody would know that's not one of his work. You're actually promoting the original ones even more, in my opinion.
Yeah,
The original,
that's a good point.
the original ones become more highly sought after if the AI generators become sought after. Also,
Yeah, but
original.
that only works for like famous talented artists. Like, but if the most artists work for companies,
Yeah, but like, why would you buy shitty art in the first place?
no, but
Because shitty
more
art,
it's not really necessarily shitty. I'm saying
not the
like
there's no money to be made in terms of that. If people were buying the original version of some guy off the street, they're not gonna buy it the person's digital version. Some of the art though, because I've volunteered now at the arts fair for several years. Some of the best artists are the ones that take the most time to put together in
yes.
terms of hours. So somebody that does little feathers and then makes it into a big mural, but it's just little feathers that added up to that in terms
Okay,
of
and
that.
that artist, how does he make money? How does he or she make money?
You, what do you mean? It's out of the arts. Like
So
that would be generated by an AI. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, I
Because an
know it's
AI would
not yet, but until someone takes a picture of it and uploads it onto the internet, and yeah, it can be generated by AI.
it's literally just it's the fabric is what I'm saying in terms
Oh
of that.
yeah, sure, sure.
That.
Yeah,
Another one
material
that
stuff. Yeah.
art the what do you call it? One each year three gets nominated for the People's Choice is what they call it, and then out of the three nominated, one of them's picked the best in show that year. Last year, the lady that won it did huge landscape arts of in full detail of cities in terms of
Oh
that,
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah, yeah,
terms
yeah. That one. Yeah,
of
I've
stuff
seen
like that.
some of
Yeah,
that.
generate that aspect of it. Don't
No,
get
you
me
can't.
wrong. It will never be as close to hers in
No.
terms of
You know,
detail.
you know what? Also, like, there's that dude who has photographic memory. Went up in a
Exactly.
helicopter over New York, and then just from that, he drew the whole of New York. But like an
Yeah.
AI can't draw that to that specificity, not yet at least.
Not yet.
What this reminds me is like this, and you can clip this for later or whatever. But I want to say this: like, what AI has done? Because ever since the birth of technology and maybe the birth of digital technology, everything has been shifting towards digital. Everything has been digitized. Okay, but so then that's how you make money. Every streaming with music, but with now AI replicating digital media, what it's done is it's given me at least a much more higher appreciation and value to physical art. You know, things that are not made on screen, things that are made on paper, you know, paintings that are made on a canvas, like the actual physical thing of it, not a picture of the Mona Lisa, but the Mona Lisa itself, right? That it's given me a lot more appreciation on the physical art. And similarly, like with Chat GPT, similar to like, okay, how do you get around students not plagiarizing using ChatGPT? And there's only one real answer to it because ChatGPT is just going to get better and better and better. Let me land. There's only one real answer to it, and that's just to test them in a classroom like they used to with a blue book. You know, that's just so this like there's like this whole thing towards digitizing everything has sort of for me made it less valuable And now what's real valuable is real world things again. Yeah. So
Yeah, exactly. And I agree. There's a kid in, I think it was Harvard. He patented a way to test. I don't know how real it is, but in terms of, but a way to test if GBT has been used on a piece of paper. In terms of that,
oh,
so he's
don't do
trying to
that.
sell it. He's trying to sell it to the student. But I'm like, if you're using it in segments, there's no way you can take it. You can get it in
Yeah.
terms of that. Not in a full paper, you could probably pick that up based on internet sources and
Yeah.
reverse engineer that in terms of that. If you are just, and that's the best use of Chat GPT. If you know the beginning and if you know the end in terms of that,
Yeah.
especially in terms of papers, if you know the beginning and the end, it can get you those segments
Yeah.
or a lot faster
Like you,
than
if you outline, like usually with my writing process, I outline first. And if you have your outline ready, oh, you save so much time, with ChatGPT because you just have to construct the narrative flow. They'll just do the writing for you.
exactly,
But
exactly,
you can't do that in the classroom, for class exams. So if you use a blue book exam, so you still have to write. So
exactly.